right on the continental divide of Costa Rica, and it creates this incredible cloud forest. The jungle here is amazing. It's wet, everything is green and mossy. Every afternoon a mist descends on the jungle. And the wildlife is abundant and diverse, from toads to monkeys.
One giant toad. That's awesome.
And spiders to armadillos. We'll show you why Costa Rica is one of the world's premier nature-watching destinations in
Travel Kids Costa Rica!
travel. Who says it can't be done with the kids? Well, many have, and we're here to prove otherwise. Here's our story.
Sometime after college and before being grown-ups, we, that's me,
And that's me.
left it all behind for 1 year to see the world. With a one-way ticket in hand, we had a grand adventure across 35 countries.
Fast forward 5 years, a house payment, real jobs, and a different sort of adventure called parenthood. With these guys,
That's me. I'm Nathan and I'm 7. That's me. I'm Janice and I'm 5.
Now we're off again to share our adventures with you as we discover the wonders of the world, the wonders of nature, the wonders of parenthood, and sometimes wonder, what were we thinking in Travel with Kids? In this episode, join us as we explore one of Costa Rica's largest tracts of preserved forest, the Monteverde Cloud Forest, and one of its more remote beaches, Montezuma. No matter where you go, Costa Rica's wildlife is sure to impress. We'll get up close and personal with its most famous residents on hikes,
She's not hungry tonight.
all right guys, keep an eye out for sloths, bugs, toucans.
on horseback, by boat, and by zipline. Plus, find out who Nathan's talking about here,
And sometimes they're evil.
what these big ears are all about,
So loud.
and what the answer to this question is.
Is he gonna try to choke me?
Located about 50 miles north of San Jose, Monteverde was founded by a group of American Quakers who left the United States in protest during the Korean War. Being pacifists, they chose Costa Rica because it has no army. 11 families founded the original town, which now has a thriving but not too intense tourist market.
We're staying at El Sapo Dorado, a great hotel for families. The lush grounds here are covered with beautiful tropical gardens and tall trees and vines. And there are residents here that the kids will definitely want to meet.
Don't touch any roots. There might be snakes. Snakes come out after rain.
The cottages here allow plenty of space to spread out, so we spend the morning hanging around the hotel, getting some schoolwork done, and making a few naturalist discoveries.
Right in the back of me, there's an armadillo. Whoa. That's awesome.
Including some rare species like the endangered potato-bill duck kid.
Hey!
There are lots of ways to experience the forest around Monteverde: hiking, biking, even ziplining. But we decide on a mode that guarantees animal spotting because you're riding on one. Desafio Adventures offers everything from overnight treks through the jungle to half-day treks to check out the views. So we head over to meet our guides,
So this horse is what they call the Pasifino, which is a breed in this country.
who have a few tricks to show us.
I got to be on the horse, and I went backwards, and I ran, and I went in circles, and the horse ran, and fun, scary.
After watching and participating in the entertainment, it's time to mount up.
A horse! What's her name? Can I pet her?
It's time to ride. The human guides are great with kids. Marvin, who has been riding horses since he was 3, matches us up with the right horses for our riding ability and makes sure to keep a tight hold of Seamus's reins. He points out things he thinks will interest the kids
It's a day today.
and builds in little stops to make sure we're all doing okay.
Muy bien.
We ride through town along dirt paths and through wide grassy fields until we come upon the most amazing view. But keep in mind, horseback riding can get tiring for young kids, so Seamus is ready to call it, and so is Nathan's horse.
I'm stuck here until he's full.
The kids were really excited to see so many bugs and butterflies on the trail, but our horses were not that interested, so we're going to head over to the Butterfly Museum to learn more about these beautiful creatures that are so abundant here in Costa Rica. First, we visit Richard Whitten's Extreme Butterfly and Bug Collection, the world's largest private collection. Now, this is no home collector's project. This guy was serious. Wall after wall of butterflies displayed as art.
This is the one we saw, it looks like.
And what's that one? The giantest one. One of those are the kind that was on our wall. One of the clear ones. I think it was that.
And every bug known, from the well-camouflaged bugs
Stick bugs. This is a stick bug. Stick bug. Stick bug.
to prehistoric-looking bugs like rhinoceros beetles, and spiky scorpions to slinky centipedes.
For every segment, the millipedes they have 4 legs, or 2 to each side in the body. The centipedes they have just 1 to each side of the body.
The kids are in bug heaven, literally. They love the displays and seeing all the bugs,
That's a grub.
but they wonder how he captured them all. The guide has a surprise in store for them, live butterflies.
Inside a giant aviary-type enclosure, hundreds of butterflies flutter around bright-colored tropical flowers. The kids get to watch them fly and eat
These two came out of cocoons too.
as butterflies land on them.
Did you get
The guide teaches them about all the different kinds here.
Because it's trying to look like the outside here and bottom.
That's trying to look like it died.
But look it over here and the wing top. It is trying to look like a snake head. It is like the eye, the nose, and the kind of the snake-shaped head.
They also have a reptile and amphibian exhibit where the guide teaches them about some of the local animals they might see in the cloud forest.
It is called glass frog.
And he recommends the Rainarium and the Serpentarium in town to learn more. The boys are loving learning about the animals, so a visit to frogs and snakes is a must-do for us. But for now, we have a meeting with another one of Costa Rica's famed inhabitants. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, to the bat car.
The bat jungle is, well, batty. It has all things bat, diagrams and pictures. Look at the tongue of the bat.
it goes all the way from here.
Sculptures and skeletons and hands-on exhibits telling us what we would need to eat as a bat to maintain our body weight.
52 buckets of insects.
Yum yum. And holy bat ears, what's that?
What do you hear?
So loud. It's as loud as a bat hears.
Okay, so you should try it.
What am I saying? You think you're a weirdo.
Oh, pretty good.
Let me try.
Heard that?
Hey, that looks like a weirdo with those big ears.
This is what kids need. These giant bat ears. Then they'll actually listen to their parents. We head inside to the Bat Cave.
Inside Bat Jungle, we can hear the bats talking to each other through an amplified system. It sounds like they're grunting. Someone got up on the wrong side of the tree branch. The guides show us several different kinds of bats.
Here are big tropical fruit bats, all hanging together. In this corner, up there they are.
Oh my gosh.
Nectar bats. Why is a bird sitting? Why are bats hanging?
Legs.
Because the takeoff from a bat is better than a bird. They just drop and fly. Takeoff is easier.
And they hang together for social purposes?
Yeah. There's only one baby per mother per year. Eh? Bats
Wow.
are the closest
I
family
see.
related to the monkeys.
The kids love watching the bats zip around the room, but they want to see them out in the wild. So we decide to take a night walk through the jungle with a guide to help spot wildlife. We meet our guide at the park headquarters, and he gives us flashlights and gives us an overview of the reserve.
Both are cloud forests, and here is like transition forest.
And before we've even left the building area, Seamus makes his first discovery.
I found this giant, humongous worm.
But there's more to see in the forest than worms, so we head out led by the guide, who points out all sorts of nocturnal animals, like toads.
Oh my gosh!
It's pretty big, yeah.
I see it.
Lots of creepy crawlies.
He's sleeping there, something like this.
Beetle thing. What? Why
A
is
really good dinner for tonight for the scorpion.
Oh, there it is.
And some spooky venomous creatures like scorpions and spiders.
Oh, spider again.
The orange-knee tarantula is endemic from Costa Rica.
I holded one before, and I have spikies on them.
And watching all these predators turns the boys into something scary.
Sometimes they're evil.
And they start to turn on us.
Don't eat me, you little boys. Don't eat me, no!
I actually bit her for real. It's like,
No, he didn't really.
Oh, but some winged friends distract them from their hunger. Phew.
Es este, el pájaro bobo. This is, guys. Look, pájaro bobo, we call in Spanish.
Is that a hawk or a vulture?
Well, it's not bats, but it manages to grab their interest.
The kids were so excited about all the animals we saw on the walk last night, we decided to hike again this morning.
Ah, great.
Taking a tour does offer great information, and the guide is really good at finding wildlife. But you have to keep up at the group's pace. So today we're excited to explore a little of the Monteverde cloud forest on our own. There's something to be said about making your own tracks. We take a trail through a banana orchard, heading out to the forest right behind our hotel. The jungle here is amazing. It's wet, everything is green and mossy. Every afternoon a mist descends on the jungle. It's the warm air from the Caribbean mixing with the cold air from the Pacific. Keep an eye out for sloths, bugs, toucans. Without a guide, seeing the bigger animals is no easy feat, but the kids are happy hiking around, looking at the mossy plants and huge craggly trees.
Let's feel this leaf. It's leather.
And pointing out some smaller creatures.
Spider web. Spider, spider. These are the baby fruit.
For a cheap exploration option that you can do at your own pace, try one of the many trails that are located behind the hotels here in the cloud forest.
I'm in the cloud forest. You can only see the clouds. You can't see anything because the clouds are blocking. Ooh, clouds right there.
The mist-covered forest is right out of a fairy tale, and it's a perfect place for imaginations to soar. Clouds roll across the mountains, shrouding everything in white. So we spend the morning hiking and playing make-believe games.
Like an old misty graveyard. Careful, that's not a giant anaconda.
But soon the mist turns to rain, and we make a dash for cover.
Actually, it's coming down really hard now. Make sure you bring a rain jacket and some layers because at night it gets pretty cold.
They don't call it the rainforest for nothing. And the rain gives us a chance to grab a bite to eat at our hotel before exploring some of Monteverde's cool animal museums. We're taking a break from the rainstorm to have some lunch. We got some traditional Costa Rican food, rice, beans, plantains.
Ew, what's
Quakers that originally settled Monteverde are dairy farmers, and they're known for their cheeses and ice cream. You can visit the Monteverde Cheese Factory and taste the cheeses, and the kids love the ice cream. Fresh off the farm.
no?
But this cheese must have some silly juice in it, because our quiet little lunch suddenly turns crazy.
I dare you 1,000,000,000,000 colones to drink the hot, spicy sauce.
5,000 colones to drink that hot sauce.
Wait, 5,000 isn't that much. This is only $10. Hot sauce.
Cut. Like our actors just went on strike.
So after they gobble down some pizza, we send them out to the playground so we can enjoy the peaceful forest surrounds while we try the local cuisine.
So we take a break and hang around the hotel for a while before heading to town to visit some slithery friends.
Whoa.
Our first stop, the Serpentarium, where there's snakes of all shapes and sizes.
That's huge. Oh, look at that. It's huge.
Oh, that's huge.
Let me take a picture. Oh, there's another one right here. It's going with its tongue. Yeah, and the snake's moving.
But little did we know that this is a hands-on or scales-on in the Snake's Case Museum. So the guide hands each of the boys a small boa constrictor.
Oh, I get to hold him. He's trying to lick me. Are they trained? He's trying to choke my hand. Oh. Pulling up my sleeve. I got a boa around my neck. Is he gonna try to choke me?
And they carry their new friends around the museum looking at all the other snakes.
That one's moving. Do you have any snakes that will swim in the water?
That's boa can swim.
What does he eat?
Oh, that's it. Pinkies.
What are those?
Pinkies is a rat, baby rats.
And when it's time to put the snakes back, they actually try to find the snake's parents.
The biggest one is his mom. The biggest head is his mom.
By the time we're done in the Snake Museum, it's getting dark, and we've heard that's the perfect time to visit the Rainarium because the frogs are more active at night. And the first thing we learn is how to tell the difference between a frog and a toad.
So the frogs have smooth skin and the
And
toads are bumpy.
There are tanks of frogs and toads laid all along the tree-covered pathways in the terraria. You can hear them croaking and ribbiting all over the place. There are tiny clear frogs and big fat toads.
They're so big they could feed a chicken.
And there's one tank in particular that has caught the attention of our little pranksters.
Really cool frog. Come here, come here.
You remember just how much Jeremy loves spiders.
I don't like spiders.
Dun, dun, dun.
So they get him up close and personal with the orange-kneed tarantula.
Oh, so gross, guys.
At the end of the tour, we meet Costa Rica's most famous inhabitants, the red-eyed tree frog. And then it's time for us to hop on home.
On the way home, we run into a parade. It's the town's patron saint day, and they have spent the last weeks making special lanterns to light the way. The lanterns are amazing. They come in all shapes and sizes,
They're made out of popsicle sticks or bamboo.
and are finished with amazing detail. This is one of the best things about traveling. Unexpected events that you weren't planning on.
Oh yeah, cool.
As the lights dance down the dark streets and the crowds laugh and sing and encourage the boys to take a look, I'm reminded why we love traveling so much.
Today we're getting our heads out of the clouds and heading down the mountain to the seaside surfing town of Montezuma. It's a long journey starting with a taxi ride to the ocean to catch a boat to the Peninsula de Nicoya on Costa Rica's Pacific coast.
And go to Puntarenas in the ferry.
The roads in and out of Monteverde are intentionally left unpaved to deter large development and keep the reserves intact.
12 kilometers. It's the bumpy route, the free massage.
Dirt roads do make for slow travel, but traveling slow in Central America is okay. The views are amazing. It really gives us a good idea of what life is like in rural Costa Rica. The ferry tickets were actually included in the cost of the minivan trip down to the coast. Travel agents in Monteverde will usually book both for you in one cost. This includes getting to Montezuma or wherever your destination may be in Costa Rica.
Paying for a small shared van to Puntarenas is worth the expense, which turns out to be not much more than a public bus and way more convenient. The driver stops along the way and gives us a snack and drink break. At one of the rest stops, I surprised the boys with a memento of the wildlife we saw.
Oh, I got a froggy that sticks. Thank you.
A new little surprise can go a long way in making long days easier on everyone. The trip to Punta Arenas takes about 2.5 hours. The port city is much more industrial, lots of traffic, trucks, and buses, but a few cows still find their way into the picture. We get there just in time to board the ferry.
The kids find lots to do on the ferry. They like watching all the cars and big buses and trucks load on the boat, and playing with the local kids on board.
Trumpets of doom.
This is a true Central American experience. Seamus finds a snack bar straight away and makes a beeline with a handful of colones.
These are called colones. This is 50 cents. This is actually just $1.
Learning to buy stuff with the local currency is a great lesson for kids. And a few bags of Costa Rican Cheetos and a few less colones later,
This is my money that I have to buy stuff.
We get cleaned up and head out onto deck as the boat pulls into Paquera. The scenery here is amazing. A quiet dock tucked amidst the palm trees and jungle-covered mountains, guarded only by a lone pelican. It's breathtaking.
we continue on our van-boat-van combination that gets us to Montezuma. It's still about an hour to Montezuma, but the time seems to fly by, and in no time we've arrived. The town of Montezuma is small, not much more than a couple of streets lined with shops and restaurants and a schoolhouse. Make sure to bring cash. There was only one ATM in Montezuma, and most of the time it was out of order when we were there. It's pretty remote, but well worth the trip.
Our hotel is not accessible by road, so we wait for transport at the sister hotel in town and take time to stock up on some groceries at the store.
This for this. I traded.
And the local produce truck.
Finito, solo esto. Solo eso.
And then it's time for a ride to the hotel.
Hey guys, we're driving into the ocean.
Oh wait, it's a duck boat?
We're waiting for the waves. Look out Seamus's window, look how close we are.
Oh, we made it.
We're staying at Ylang Beach Resort, which is, as you may have guessed by now, just down the beach from the town of Montezuma. We check in and get a quick tour of the property. Paths meander through wild jungle-like gardens that tons of animals call home. Iguanas and even a group of monkeys who swing through the resort a couple of times a day. And if the wildlife isn't impressive enough, the kids think the room is great.
Sweet, this is our room.
It's 2-story, and they instantly climb upstairs to claim the loft is their own. They like the big bed, and the incredible views of the beach and the ocean, and our little monkey friends right outside the window. Ylang is a true nature's paradise, a real jungle experience for travelers.
After our long travel day, the kids are ready for a little downtime. So we head to the hotel pool, where the kids climb the waterfall next to the iguanas, and we relax and soak in the amazing surrounds.
Today we're refreshed and ready to explore some of the jungle around Montezuma. So we ask at the front desk,
We have many different kind of tours.
and they tell us one of the best ways to see it all.
Zipline!
And the kids are raring to go. So after suiting up and a short training lesson,
We can break even if you go backwards.
we're off.
Adios, amigo. Adios.
Awesome! Again. Yay, an even longer one that I'm going by myself on. Woo! Oh, I want to do that one by myself too. That's cool.
Woo, that was awesome.
I went on a zip line. Freaky!
Freaky cool maybe. You guys loved it.
After the Zipline Tour, we decide to hang around town for some R&R, rice and running around. So we put our order in at the Soda, the Costa Rican name for local eateries and cafes, and head to the park. Another wonderful thing about traveling, you meet people from all over the world in the strangest and remote places. Back at the hotel, we make some more new friends. We take time out just to relax together as a family. Sometimes some of the best memories are the ones that we don't plan. So after breakfast, we head out into the garden.
This is the seed, and this is the coconut. Wait, can I eat the outside too? Airplane.
Jungle food.
Ding! Fresh coconut, and I'm gonna crack it. What'd you get out of?
In Costa Rica, beaches mean surfing, and today the surfers are out in numbers. The kids enjoy watching them shredding the waves, digging sand ponds, finding animals, and one of the cheapest forms of entertainment that has been handed down for generations in my family, the sand maze.
Thanks for joining us in this edition of Travel with Kids. For more information on family-friendly destinations or for family travel tips, visit travelwithkids.tv.